Floss Tube, I'm Sally, StitchySally on Floss Tube and Instagram. Today is the 21st of July 2021 and this is Floss Tube number 5. Welcome to my channel about cross stitch. I've got some whips to share. I've got 3 finishes, 2 of which are FFOs, fully finished objects, and I also have some more finishes, not as many as last time, from my to finish pile. I also have some haul, just a little bit of haul, and some stitchy kindness. So I think we'll just get started so that I can show you what I've been up to over the last couple of weeks. And don't these 2 weeks fly by as well? I cannot believe we are already at the 21st of June and I'm recording another Floss Tube. So first work in progress that I'm going to show is Winter in Baltimore by With Thy Needle and Thread. And I do apologise that the colours are just not showing. I discovered that my camera on my laptop films at 720 dpi. Is that right, dpi? Which is not great. My actual the display on my laptop is actually 1020, but the camera doesn't film at that. And at the moment I don't want to be buying anything else to film on until I kind of really decide that I'm going to keep going long term, which I probably will. My husband suggested getting a webcam, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes. So this is my progress. Try and get it quite right. I know you can't see it very well from there, can you? If I hold it right back like that, but and do excuse the mess behind me. This is where my husband has his laptop. And he sits there when he works from home, which he doesn't do very often now. It was only at the beginning of the pandemic where I think he had 10 days where he worked from home. So as you can see, I've done the house. I've done this snow. The snow is supposed to be, I think it's WDW linen, but it just disappeared into my fabric, which is a shame really, because it's the correct fabric, it's all the correct threads. But anyway, I've changed it. I think I changed it for 3865, I think it was. So I think I've done, since last time I've done that, and I think I've also done the flower pot. Can't actually remember. So that is that one. Oops. Pulling it all to pieces. Don't feel like I'm very organised somehow. So the next piece I'd like to show you, and I know a lot of you really like this one. This is Madame Chantilly, Berries and Robins, and if you're new, this is the piece that I'm stitching. And I've worked a little bit extra on this because I would have quite liked to have got it finished, but it didn't happen. I found a great way. I've had these little clips. These little clips have been in my stash probably about 3 years, and I've done very little with them. And they're ideal. Just clipping my stitching onto my piece of board to keep them straight. I'm being nosy, I'm looking out the window. So that's where I am on that. I've just about finished all these white berries. I've got some to do up here. I started on the wording home side, and then I'll have some straight stitches to do as well. I'm really pleased with how that's looking as well. As I say, sorry it doesn't show up very well, but that's 32 count vintage country mocha. Those robins are very cute. haven't seen my robins in the garden for a while, but I would imagine in this heat they're probably keeping well out of the way, if they've got any sense, because it has been horrendously hot here and I don't like it. I don't mind it about, I don't know, 20 degrees, but I think we've had about 26, 27 some days, and it's just been too much. So I finished my Friday night sheep sal with Barb, so I had to go looking through my stash to find something new. I do have quite a few sheep pieces, so I've got enough to keep me going for quite a while. Don't need to buy any more sheep pieces, not that it'll stop me. As we all know, us stitchers, we like a decent stash of charts to go at, just in case. And my new start is October House Fibre Arts Wear Wool, which was a new release at Nashville Needlework Market last year, 2020. So this is my first ever October House Fibre Arts stitch. Oops, shakes. And I really like the colours in this, and that sheep is so cute. It's a big ass sheep. Big ass sheep. But very cute. So I'm using a mixture of Gentle Art sampler threads and DMC. I just had a look and picked out what I had in the Gentle Arts. And this is my start. I don't know what the fabric is. Again, it's something that was in my stash. It's not marked. I think it's the same that I stitched needlework ABCs on. It's a piece that a lady at Craft Group gave me, and there was quite a bit left. So that's my wee start. Not much. Well, I say not much when you consider how big the sheep is. It's probably not a bad start, actually. I do apologise with these colours. Just not really showing. But at least you get the gist of what they look like. And I think that is just going to be a really nice one to stitch. Is that one. I did consider starting Betsy. Sheepish Designs, Betsy? Is it Sheepish Designs? But I thought, oh, I'll do something a bit smaller for now and do Betsy later instead. So my next piece is this one. That's the Blue Flower Tudor Bee. I'm taking part in the Tudor Bee Sal, which is hosted by Amanda Alba Stitcher and Kim the Contented Stitcher. I give up. Yeah, there's quite a few of us stitching this, and it's really nice. It's really nice to see as well, because obviously some people are using the needlepoint ink silks, and some people have just picked out other colours. I'm not so good at doing that. I'm not that great at. I do it sometimes if I don't have the threads, but I thought I'd just use DMC for this one. I don't want to invest in too many other different fancy flosses. And that's where I'm at. I'm really enjoying this. I think that bee is just so beautiful. Really pretty. that one. Keep looking and thinking, is this really all I've got? But yeah. It still adds up to a project for every night of the week just about, which I kind of don't know that I like after having not quite so many before, so I might have to go back to that way of doing it maybe. And I am waffling too much as well, aren't I? Sorry, just talk amongst yourselves while I'm getting this on my card, getting it straight. So, as usual, Tuesday nights at the BBD cell with Barb and Michelle, aka Mouse. In my last video, I could not remember what Barb was stitching on, and I do apologise, Barb. I felt really bad because I couldn't remember, and she's actually doing all the different charts for the birds. She's finished reliving her, which I realised after I'd finished filming, and then I didn't edit that bit. So Barb's doing for the birds, and Mouse and I, as you'll have seen before, doing this one from Our Lasting Friendship. And this is where I'm at. So I made a bit of a mistake on this one last night. This house here, it's missing a row, and I couldn't get it out, so I thought it's going to have to stay, and I'm just going to have to make sure that I compensate here for these motifs. This one didn't matter because I did it from here, but these I just had to make sure that I went 2 threads down, you know, left a big enough gap so that they would be in the right place, if that makes sense. It makes sense to me, it probably doesn't make sense to you, but yeah, that's that. So I had a new start last night. I think I said in my last video that on Blessings Be Thine I was going to leave Barb and Alma's initials as it was charted, to pay tribute to Barb, but I changed my mind, and while I was watching Brenda and the Serial Starter, Brenda and Laura, on Monday, I decided to go through all my Blackbird Designs books and charts. In the grand scheme of things, I don't have that many because I know a lot of people out there have collected just about everything they can. I do have quite a few books, and there's books that I regretted getting rid of, not realising that they went out of print, and now they're out of print, and I wished I hadn't. I wished I'd kept them. So I know a lot of people have been stitching Basket of Memories, and I don't know whether it's called Remember Me or not, from can't remember the book. Schoolgirl's Journey? No. Schoolgirl's Work, which I have. But I decided I wanted to do something a little bit different. So I'm doing one from this, Tokens of Friendship, which is out of print. And I was very, very lucky to actually buy this for £10. One of my stitching friends was selling it and kind of let me have it for £10. This was about maybe 4 years ago, and hopefully I can find it. I should have had it on the page. This is the one that I'm stitching. This is Forget-Me-Not. And I'm stitching it on a smaller. This one is actually, it's stitched on 32 count, but I'm stitching it on 36 just to make it a little bit smaller, and I'm going to make it into a pillow. And then one of the ladies on the Fans of Blackbird Designs group, she's charted Barb's name and the year she was born, and this year, 2021. So I'm going to do that on the back, just in memory of Barb. Haven't got a lot done. It was just a very small token start, if you like. In fact, it's not really worth showing, to be honest. There, can you see it? Tiniest little bit. I just decided just to add a few stitches, and this is 36 count platinum by Swagart. I haven't got all, well actually I do have all the threads, but I don't have much left of 2 of them, so I have just done a small order, so they should be here at some point soon. There's the only problem that you can't see them when they're on card. So that's 4 of them. So I was really pleased with that start. And that one was designed by Barb as well, because that's one thing that I wanted to try and find, was one. Obviously, not that it matters. Where's that come from? A bit blue thread. Not that it actually matters whether it is or not, but I just thought it'd be nice to have one that was. Is that all my whips? I think it is. My word, that went fast. So, finishes. So this one is one of them, but it's not fully finished. I know what I want to do with it. I've got an idea what I want to do with it, because I saw how somebody else had finished it. And I actually decided when I was watching Brenda and Laura, they did a lovely tribute to Barb. And Brenda had showed her finish of this one, and she had put her daughter's initials on, so that's what I've done. I've put my daughter's initials on. So this is Blessings Be Thine from the Home for the Holidays book, and that is stitched, not that you would know, on 36 count summer khaki linen by Swagart. And as I've said before, I've used all the call for colours except for the Gassed Cranberry, and I've swapped that out for Carrie's Creations Holly Berry, which was a Jane's Attic exclusive from many years ago. So I am very, very pleased with that. I just love this, absolutely love it. I've been going to stitch it for quite a few years since I bought the book, which is nice. It's nice when they're out of print and then they come out in some of the books. So that is that one. So my 2 recent finishes that I fully finished. I can't show you the chart for this one because I've passed it on to my friend Barb to stitch. This is Vintage Needle Arts, Wilhelmina's Woolens. And I've just, it probably looks a bit weird, the colour combinations, but it was kind of just finding something in my stash that would work. That. And then I've just popped some rick rack words again with beads. So I'm really pleased with that. And I always have bother getting my openings straight. And I was watching Michelle, Marvel Loves UGB, not her last Floss Tube but the one before, and she showed some almost FFOs. And she hadn't sewn up the bottoms or put trim on. But again, these. She'd use these to clip it closed. I don't know why I didn't think of it before. So my bottom isn't bad at all on that. So I shall remember that for future reference. So thank you, Michelle, for showing that. Because I don't know why I never thought of it before. And then, to get the right one, I finished my BBD weekend style piece, which was a Christmas Visitor from the Deck the Halls book, and I finished it. I've actually had a go at finishing strawberries. Not great. It's kind of looking in my stash, seeing just what can I put on the top, what can I do with it. So here it is. That's my strawberry. And it's also filled with fibre fill. Hollow fibre filling. It's that one. And this is just some lace that I had knocking about with the button on the top. So of course, had to finish the other two, didn't I, as well. This is the first one that I did, and it's got the squidgy end because I didn't get it. I just couldn't get the filling right to the bottom. But I've had a tip on what to do from my friend Chris. My friend Chris used to live in the nearest city to us. So I used to hop on a bus and she'd meet me at the bus stop and we'd go to her house and do a stitch for the day. But she's moved to North Yorkshire now, so it's a little bit further to go, so I think I've only seen her once, unfortunately, since she moved. And that one's got the button on the top as well. This one is Christmas Cactus. And then it came up on a midnight clear. And this one, I'm not so sure that I like this one. I've just, all the ribbon that I had would not work. It was either the wrong colour or too thick, too wide, sorry. So I've just ended up, looks like, not quite sure what it looks like actually. Mutant spider, possibly. But they're done. So, and then I had to get some hearts. I'm not, as I said before, I'm not the greatest. You can give me a rectangle, a square, and even now a circle, but anything else, it's not so great, but I try. So this one is Stitches and On Designs, and it's Season of Peace. I think I stitched these a couple of years ago, I think, and I knew I have at least one more to do. I knew I had at least one more, and I couldn't remember what on earth I'd done with them. And I actually found them in the bag that I took to craft group. So I might have a go at the other two at some point, get those stitched and finished. And these are no longer available, these designs. And unless you can find a printed chart, they're not available. And this one is Season of Love. And I do hope that Gaynor, the designer, is looking down on us and seeing us still stitching her designs. Actually, they don't look bad, do they? Now that I'm looking at it like that, I'm thinking that actually does look okay. we're our worst critics, aren't we? Our own worst. And then I did a small order with Hobbycraft. Our nearest Hobbycraft is I think it's about 45 minutes away, and it's a nightmare, to be honest. Traffic is horrendous getting there. And to be honest, it's just not worth it unless you're going to be going somewhere else, and you don't want to go anywhere else. So I just did an order online for a few bits, and I got this tray, and I've mounted, excuse the pronunciation, Renato Perolin Sauteur la Neve, which I stitched, I don't know when I stitched it. Actually, did I make a note of it? 2017, I did make a note of it, and that is stitched on 32 count Crafty Kitten Latte Murano. And I've just, because there was a lot of fabric showing here, not that it matters particularly, I've just put some lace top and bottom. I'm really pleased with that. That is such a sweet design. Really, really like it. And then I actually plucked up the courage to finish Blackbird Designs Early Christmas Morning. I struggled a little bit with it, and I got to the stage where I thought I'm going to end up ruining it if I'm not careful and having to restitch it. I left the card in the bottom, but I took the card out the top. I should have said I took the card out the top first and used it in the bottom. And of course, as I've said before, I don't use sawdust or crushed walnut shells. I use the fibre filling. And I just couldn't get it right at all. So I ended up cutting another piece of card, and of course I'd stitched the top on, and I knew that if I unpicked it I was going to ruin it, so the card is just rammed in there. But having said that, I love it. I'm so pleased with it. And I'm kind of just happy with myself really for having a go. It may not be the greatest, but I've done it. Never ever thought that I would do anything like this, so I'm quite pleased with myself. I never blow my own trumpet because, well, very rarely. So that is that one. Right, let's show Stitchy Kindness, I think. So just looking at, oh, I've forgotten that. Oh well, never mind. So, as I said, I did a small order with Hobbycraft, and I had a look for a paper mache box for Sue Hillis Designs Study in Blue. I always want to call it Rhapsody in Blue, and I don't know why. Study in Blue. I've not brought it in here with me, otherwise I would show you it. And that is finished on a round paper mache box, but I couldn't see the right size on Hobbycraft. So I'd actually asked on Facebook if anybody knew where I could get one from, and Mouse said, I'll have a look in Hobbycraft for you, because sometimes they have more in store than they do online. And she got me one and sent me it. So it's just a paper mache box. I still not managed to find the box for winter in Baltimore, so I'll probably just make one. But she also popped that in for me as well, little wooden box. So I can find something to mount on the top of that. So thank you, Mouse, thank you very much. It's very much appreciated. Studying blue is one of my plans for this year. Whether I will actually get there with it, I don't know. I might not. We'll see. So, haul. I keep thinking I'm forgetting something, but I don't think I am. I think I probably forget my own name as well at times. Excuse me, I'm just going to grab a drink. Right, so, haul. I think I mentioned in my last video, sorry, I'm keep knocking the table, I'm shaking my laptop. I think I mentioned in my last video that I'd had my invoice and paid my invoice from Traditional Stitches for the Blackbird Designs What Remains Is Love, which is one that they've designed for Traditional Stitches 20th anniversary. And I wasn't entirely sure how long it was going to take to come. I have seen some people say that theirs is taking 3 weeks from Canada to the USA, so I thought coming over here. Now whether that's the actual chart itself or whether they'd ordered the kit, I don't know. But mine actually arrived after 8 days. It only took 8 days. Came on the Saturday after I filmed last. There it is. So I think, I couldn't remember last time what fabric I'd ordered for it. I've had it a while. And I think it's 35 count Winter Moon by Zweigart. And I've managed to get all the call for threads, which again I've had those a while. I don't know when I'm going to start it. I might start it when I've finished Our Lasting Friendship. I will see. So at Needlework Expo, Jeanette Douglas brought out the first 2 of the Home Together series. So I asked Sue at Peakside Needleworks if she would get me the first 2, which she did. So and then I noticed that the next 2 had come in, so I picked those up. Oops. Now Jeanette has shown these finished in a cube, which I think is a really nice idea, so I may well do that. She says obviously you can swap them around because one design will be on the bottom, so you can swap the designs around and put your least favourite on the bottom, which might be difficult if you really like them all. You're not really going to want to hide any of them, are you, on the bottom? But I suppose you can change it around. You can put it the other way up or whatever. So that is my haul. The only thing that, and I shouldn't really say this, but I'm having to do my own conversion to DMC because there's a lot of threads and I'm just not going to buy all these different threads. So I'm gradually going through and converting them all best I can. I've got a few conversion charts saved on my iPad, so I just look down there, and if I can't find them, then I'll just get my DMC out and try and do it that way. So I think that is everything I've got to show you. We'll have some more haul. So I just ordered a few threads for the 2 threads, sorry, that I needed for Forget Me Not. But I also ordered, I need to go back to bed. I also ordered some fabric. I saw some 32 count Murano Was it Murano? And I cannot remember what colour it was. It's like a grey, like a stormy sky. And I thought it would be ideal for Blackbird Designs Octopus's Garden. So that's what I've got that for. So it will be going in my stash, but I do know what it's for. So yeah, I think that's it. Can't think of anything else. I'm going to probably stop this video and then suddenly think, oh, I didn't share that. But never mind. There's always next time. So thank you very much for watching. Please hit the like button. I've had my first, didn't like this video, thumbs down, sorry, thumbs down. I've had my first thumbs down, which was a little bit sort of, why didn't you just not bother putting a thumbs down, because what difference does it make if you don't like it? Just don't watch, really. But anyway, I have noticed quite a few of even the most professional floss tubers getting thumbs down. Doesn't make sense, but anyway. Yes, so thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And as I say, if you like it, give me a thumbs up. And please do subscribe. And hit the little alarm bell thing so you know when I put another video up. So take care, everybody, and stay safe. We've come completely out of lockdown now. Madness, but anyway, that's that. So until next time, thank you, take care, bye.